Y'all, you're going to be wanting to listen to this next segment. Let me tell you, Colorado has $2 billion in unclaimed property. And there's a relatively simple process to check and see if any of that money is yours. Here with the details is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome, and you're welcome
for
bringing this to your attention.
I have been obsessed. Like
Yes.
the last couple hours, I've been
Yes.
searching for everyone in my family, and
Yes.
I've told them all I take a 10% finder's fee commission.
Yep.
Just so y'all know. And I
Okay.
did find some money on there.
I'm not sure if that's legal, but yeah, you can.
So this is part of the Great Colorado Payback,
Yes.
where there's $2 billion
Yeah.
that belongs to residents. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So this is money that went back to the state. It may be from unclaimed tax refunds, bank accounts that people just forgot about, money that was actually transferred and they couldn't locate the people. And so since 1987, I think the state has started to try and refund this money. And so our state treasurer, Dave Young, has really been pretty avid about it. And I think February 1st is National Payback Day, or State Payback Day in Colorado. So that's when they're really trying to find these folks and put the money back. And they've last year, I think they gave 78 million back. Since it started, it's been 787 million. So they say it's 1 in 10 Coloradans have unpaid, some cash sitting around that belongs to them that's currently sitting with the state.
And some of it is small. Like I found
Yeah.
one that's for like $1.10, but I found another one that's $45.
Yeah.
It all adds up, y'all. You found
Yeah.
some money on there.
Yeah, I found some money. I looked for a lot of my family members. I was up late last night, and there's a fair amount of money. And so if it's under $250, it'll actually say the specific amount. But if it's over $250, you just click the claim, and then you go through the process. And yeah, there's a lot of money out there. And so it's 15 million residents and entities. So it could be a business, a former business that you shut down. So it's really a fairly easy process. So folks should go online and really look to see if they have some money.
It is very easy.
Yeah.
All right. So the $2 billion question, how do people find out if they have money?
How do they do it? So really, they just go to the website, and the website is right up there. Yeah, thegreatcopayback.com. It's very straightforward. Now, the one piece that was a little bit arduous, I guess, was that it wasn't necessarily, it was alphabetical, but you had to kind of keep scrolling through the names. I was shocked at how many Traylors were out there, because that's not really a common last name. And so you kind of had to dig around, but I would spend the time doing it. So the greatcopayback.com is for Colorado. Missingmoney.com is nationwide. And so what you'll see there is if you've lived in other states and there's money that's left, you can see it by state. And so I went on missingmoney.com as well and found some money there too.
See, this is what happens when you don't read all of Whitney's email, because that would have saved me time, because then I went to Wyoming, I went to California, I was looking under all of the state websites, and you don't need to do that.
No, you can go straight to missingmoney.com. Yep.
Okay. All right, so some critics say Colorado and other states should actually be doing more to return some of this unclaimed property.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that are saying, there's consumer advocates that are saying, hey, you shouldn't have to go find it. The state should be able to locate where you are and give you that money back. And there's also people who say it should be with the Department of Revenue and tied to your tax refunds, which I think makes a lot of sense. And there are some states that do that, where so if you have a tax refund or if you owe taxes, then they can just sync it up and put the money that way. And here in Colorado, there's actually litigation that started in 2022. 2 men sued saying they actually got their money, but they said it was too arduous, it was a difficult process, and it should have been easier. And essentially they sued under the Fifth Amendment takings clause, because sometimes the state will actually take, it's also assets, so it's gold, diamond rings, there's a Lou Gehrig baseball card, and sometimes they'll take that, sell those things, and then still hold the money for the individuals, and they're saying, hey, that's an unlawful taking under the Fifth Amendment. So that lawsuit's still ongoing.
I would assume that it would be so difficult at this point to tie this money to each individual person's, social security number or whatever it is.
I mean, that's what they say. I mean, and right now with us, it's with the Department of Treasury is the one who handles it, and Dave Young, who's our state treasurer, is the one who goes forward with it. And so, like I said, some folks are saying it should be with the Department of Revenue, and I think our state, they want to do more, they want to mail out more, but I think they need some funding for those mailers. So it is difficult, but I love the fact that we're doing this segment, and it's like people go out there and take a look. It's a really quick process to just go online and see if you're there.
I think that an interesting question is, we've been talking about how we're in a budget deficit, right?
Yeah.
Like we need money as a state, and so we're doing a lot of things to cut funding.
Yeah.
Could they use some of this money for that or no?
Well, you sound like some of the state legislators. That's what they're actually pushing for. And so for the past couple of years, there has been legislation proposed that didn't pass where they said, hey, let us borrow the money.
Yeah.
We need it, then we'll pay it back. And Dave Young, when he was a state representative, he said, yeah, he supported that. But now as the treasurer, he doesn't support it because his worry is that they won't ever pay it back. So last year, there was legislation that was passed to allow them to borrow on the interest on that money. And so that was a bipartisan effort. And so that money, I think they can borrow on the interest, and then they're supposed to pay it back. And yes, now after the big, beautiful bill, we have $1 billion state budget shortfall. So that is needed. But as he said, they said, look, we're going to hold it in perpetuity. This is money that belongs to these individuals. We're not going to give it out, but now they can loan on the interest.
Will they hold on to it forever? Or is there like an expiration where they're like,
Right.
okay, the state can use it now?
No, that's what, according to the treasurer's office, they are going to hold it forever.
Wow.
Until they, and sometimes I read about a lady who was trying to recover $800, and she went through the process, and her estranged adult son needed to sign off, and because he wouldn't or she couldn't contact him, she wasn't able to do it. So sometimes it's not as smooth as it should be. And so in that case, I don't know what they do, but right now what the treasurer's office is saying is, hey, we're going to keep it until we get it back to the rightful owners or the heirs.
Very interesting. All right, guys, missingmoney.com.
Yes.
We'll
is
get
the
all the
nationwide.
states.
Yep.
Okay. And Colorado, CO, great payback.
CO. Hold on, Corey.
Yeah.
Let's not confuse them. It's greatcopayback.com.
Y'all are welcome. $2
you
billion
go.
are out there. This is a good
Go
one.
get your
I was
money, yes.
fascinated. Go get your money.
All
Show me the money, Whitney. Thank you.